Hi, and welcome to Turin Company, the mother-daughter podcast about everything. Our mission is to make herstory, aka history, not by going viral, but by doing something that has never been done before in our family. Whether we have 2 listeners or 2 million listeners, we are bringing you our very best, and hopefully we are learning and growing together in the process. Now let's enter into the Turin Company experience and create herstory, aka history, together. Welcome. Guess what? It's another episode of Turin Company. I'm so excited. We have officially launched, and we will now be bringing you these episodes weekly. They're going to be uploaded. Our episodes are going to be uploaded every Sunday. Did we say Sunday?
I believe we said Sunday, yes.
All right. So we'll be uploading every Sunday. Hopefully they will be available to you by Monday for your drive into work. We are excited. Welcome, everybody. We are Turin Company. I am one of your hosts, Tura, joined by my 2 daughters,
Chelsea
and
Ariel.
Nice. So today we're going to jump right into today's episode. Today our topic is, are you rude? Now I've been waiting on this episode because it seems like I always run into rude people and I don't like it. Have y'all noticed everybody's really, really rude when you're traveling?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
I just feel like because of COVID, people just don't know how to interact anymore. I
Not
think
at all.
because, we couldn't go outside for a while and then we could go outside, but then some people still didn't want to go outside. I just feel like we didn't really have a lot of, just human decency before, I felt like. But now it's really just, I only care about myself, and I'm going to show you that I only care about myself.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because before, like you said, like you would go to a grocery store, people would be rude, but now it's just like, it's almost like we've been in the woods for like 2 years, raised by wolves, and now everybody doesn't know how to be social again. It's kind of weird.
Oh, they know how to be social. They just don't care. That's what it is. Because that's the difference between the two. Because back in the olden days, but pre-COVID, pre-pandemic or
PC.
What is PC?
Pre-COVID.
Remember, like BC, before Christ, PC, before COVID.
Pre-COVID.
I feel like that was a little
Pre-COVID. I said before
blasphemous.
COVID, pre-COVID.
That PC is a little
Anyways, like I was saying, back in the olden days, however long ago that was, people
2-3 years ago.
People were more conscious of how they interacted with people, and now people do not care.
I would agree. So it sounds like you are fired up about this episode, Ariel. So what you got for me? Who's been rude? First of all, are you rude?
Not intentionally. I don't think I'm intentionally rude. I do think I have my rude moments, but I don't think that
What?
the camera isn't on, but the side eye is real. I am not rude intentionally. And I think that when we talk about or when we ask ourselves, are we rude or did I do something rude? One of the things that for our own self-reflection we have to take into consideration is context and intention. Right. So I never intend to be rude. And I don't think a lot of people intend to be rude.
Yeah, I think some people do intend.
Yeah, they be waking up and choosing violence.
Right, yes.
I think
That's
some
true.
people wake up and choose rude.
That is true. But
Some days I do it. Some days I choose rude.
choose
I'm just
rude.
saying.
Yeah. And yes, you're right. I'm very fired up about this topic today because I'm very sensitive to when people are rude to me. I'm also sensitive to it when people are being like extra polite to me, but I'm also very, there's 2 sides of the spectrum. People
Right.
can be super polite and people can be super rude.
Right.
And I'm the same way about how I am towards people. The energy that people give to me is the energy that I give them back. So, when a lot of times people are rude to me, I'll try to I'll try to tone it down a little bit. I won't be nearly as rude as I felt they were to me. But the reason I'm super fired up about this is because, like you said, when you go places, you can tell that people are like, they just don't care. They just don't know how to be social anymore, and they don't have any sense of manners or anything like that anymore.
Right. Why don't people say, excuse me? Like, oh my God, when you're going in the grocery store or something, like people. Okay. So when I was growing up, if you walk, like if I'm standing there looking at something and you walk across me, that was an opportunity to say, excuse me.
Or, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just need to get right past. Like, you announce yourself, like you say something.
Yeah. Now people just be like, you better let me walk past you, and you better not be trying to act like I can't, get past you. It's just, to me, it's a certain air about people, like an arrogancy, like they deserve to do that thing that they're doing. So, Ariel, do you have an example of some rudeness? Did you do some rude stuff lately? Have you done anything rude lately?
Not intentionally, I don't think.
Nobody's ever doing it intentionally.
We just said that there are some people who do it intentionally. We are not doing it intentionally.
Yes. But unintentionally, have you been rude lately? Have you done anything rude lately?
I was probably rude earlier today, the way I was talking to y'all, but that's possible. I think that could probably be considered an example of me possibly being rude, because a lot of times when people are rude, it's with the things that they're saying, whether it's verbal or nonverbal. It's rude and polite are both about communication.
Right.
So it's about the way that you communicate. So whether it be a verbal communication, like I said something rude to you, like I said, maybe the breakfast you made was terrible, or your hair looks terrible, or like just saying something rude. Or if I say something polite, like, hey, can you, I don't know.
See, those things to me aren't rude though. Like those, this is my truth. If it is the truth,
please,
it's not rude to me. Because again, just like our last episode when we were talking about feelings, it's up to me how I choose to accept it.
Right.
But
I just have I said, with the intention, the whole intention part of it, if you're speaking the truth with the intention of letting this person know and conveying that information, yeah, that's speaking the truth. That's not really rude. But if I'm telling you your breakfast was trash because you hurt my feelings and I want to hurt your feelings, that's rude. That's what I mean.
I understand. So, yeah. So has anything rude happened to you lately?
I'm so glad you asked. As a matter of fact, yes. Literally, probably recently. I'm
just saying recently.
You keep saying 3.
Okay. No, I'm saying recently.
Whatever. Okay. Well, then if we're talking like recent or like just something that's happened big. So not too long ago, Chelsea and I went out with our cousin, and we
shout out Ariel.
Whoop whoop.
Big homie.
Big cousin Ari. Anyways, we went out a couple weeks ago, and it was New Year's. And of course, we wanted to go out. We wanted to have a good time. The three of us, we wanted to have a good time. And we are fully aware that there are plenty of other people there that wanted to have a good time. And this particular person had what I would describe as too good of a time, to the point where they could not be, more aware of their surroundings. So there was a gentleman in front of me at the particular club that we were at, and was not paying attention, and spilled their drink on me. Now, there are many avenues that this could have gone, right? So I get it. You don't realize it. You spill your drink on somebody, or you spill some food, or you do something to like bump into somebody. Now, a non-rude response would be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Because then you take the rude action and then you cancel it out with a non-rude action, and that makes it kind of neutral. This person got mad and what looked like very offended at the fact that I had the audacity to be like, hey, don't do that, or anything like that. I immediately wanted to leave. However, I was talked off the ledge, for lack of a better word or phrase, to stay and have a good time. And then this person did it again. And still not being self-aware. Going back to that original point, the reason why this whole interaction was rude was because this person knew what they did, and without, correcting their intentions, they just doubled down on the rudeness and just was like, I don't care. That's exactly what that told me. Because there was almost there are the people that got involved around us, because everyone around me and around us knew that what this person did wasn't okay. So if you do something that's not okay and you immediately self-check and reevaluate, that immediately cancels out whatever rude thing you did. Right?
Which kind of leads me to a point, and I was thinking about this earlier because I knew we were going to be filming this. Do you think rude and disrespect go together? Because that sounds
Absolutely.
to me like the disrespect of him, this person, not giving a toot, was like, oh, I spilled my drink, so what? I'm gonna spill it on you again.
Yeah.
Like I don't respect you enough to not, or to self-correct and not do it again. So I'm about to hit you up again. Or
Yeah.
I don't care if my drink lands on you again.
Absolutely.
So the question I have about this situation, because I'm just thinking about my brain. Why didn't you move away?
So the space that we were in was so crowded, there was no room to move. So if we were to move, we would either lose our spot on the dance floor or just getting around and maneuvering was, to be honest with you,
It wasn't worth it.
It just wasn't worth it.
Right.
Not only that, but I'm not gonna move just because you want to be rude. Then you win, and I'm not. No.
Because also, who thinks that it's going to happen not once but twice?
Right. You're not
Right.
thinking like that. Because the first time you probably caught off guard
Yeah.
by what happened.
Because the first time it happened, like his back to me, and he was holding his drink up, and it like tipped back. So I was like, okay, so this is an accident. The second time, it happened twice. Because the first time, I pointed the drink, moved the drink, pointed it out, and the guy was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then just went back to doing whatever it is people do when they're at clubs on the dance floor.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all do it. That club thing's like, I've never gone out on New Year's Eve.
Listen,
I
it
think
was
maybe twice.
It
I've
was
gone
our
out.
first time, and it will not be happening again.
Yeah, it's
We
just
crossed it
ignorant.
off the bucket list, and that's enough.
Yeah,
more than
going,
enough.
Going out on New Year's Eve. I remember when we were younger, we used to do it, and it's very hectic, right? It's just so many people. I mean, this is even before COVID. So many people, so many things to contend with. Then you got to worry about,
Parking, getting home, paying for your ticket, because of course going to a bar is not free. They're going to make you pay for a ticket, even if it is open bar or whatever
that's
it
not what I was
is.
gonna say.
But
That was just our situation.
That's not what I was
Yeah.
gonna say. What I was going to say is, then you got to worry about like driving through the danger zone because people be shooting. Like they started shooting over here at probably
in our neighborhood,
Yes. Oh my. Why would you say
like
in our
guns
neighborhood?
or fireworks.
Okay, first of all, we live in a neighborhood where probably everybody owns AK-47s. First of all, I'm gonna need you to check that. But yeah, it was like fireworks. It was a lot of noise going on last night. But yeah, a lot of people shoot on New Year's Eve. That's how a lot of people celebrate. So there was some shooting going on at midnight. The fireworks were happening at midnight. So there were quite a few things. But yeah, that going out on New Year's Eve is just
Moving forward, New Year's parties at home. Moving forward.
Absolutely. And you know what? Those are the best parties because if you get drunk, you can spend the night over the person's house and it's just a better time. So yeah. So Chelsea, what you got? You got some rude stuff? What you got?
I mean, I don't know. You guys might disagree. Me personally, I don't think I'm that rude. I know I do have my rude tendencies.
No, you're not rude. You're entitled.
Oh, okay.
Well, you are. You know how you are.
Okay.
We're gonna talk. We're gonna have an episode about are you entitled? You don't think you are? I'm just real quick.
Hey, you listen. As we say, we have this little saying.
But I'm entitled. I be feeling sometimes entitled.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of people suffer
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
not like I'm saying like you're entitled and you're just a bad person. I'm just saying
no.
I don't see you as rude.
Yeah.
I didn't raise you that way.
Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, I don't think I'm necessarily rude, but this it's so crazy how us just having that little sidebar just kind of reminded me of this story. Back when I was in middle school, high school, I had this best friend. Like, we did everything together. Everything. She didn't live that far away from me. We was two peas in a pod. Then we get to high school, and, you know, they always say, you know, high school is going to change you, mate. Who you go in with is not who you come out with. And let me tell you, that is so true. So true. We was good. We was rocking, but we kept bumping heads, and I just didn't understand why. And then there was the situation. Now, the way my school used to do things. Now, I don't know where y'all live, because I know some food places be different where everyone lives. But there's this chicken place called Raising Cane's. They used to come to my school every Friday, and it was $5 to get a meal.
Raising Cane's at your school? That's
right.
wrong.
It was to help the football team.
Just regular.
Right. It was only on Fridays. It was only on Fridays, and it was to like support the football team. And I was given $5 by my sister so that I could get by Ariel so that I could get some chicken that day.
Why your sister had to give you $5? Your mama didn't give you $5?
I don't know. I think I forgot to ask you something, but
I just
Ariel
was
gave
wondering,
it to me.
like, why is Ariel? Where does she get $5 from?
Because I never spend my
Ariel
money.
doesn't spend money.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm like, where?
She could have had that money
When
from like
you
2
were-
Christmases ago. She would have never spent it.
Okay, I got it.
So Ariel gives it to me. And then now, this one friend, she asked me if I could buy her some canes too. I only had $5. It's not like I had $10.
Right.
And I
right,
had enough to buy 2. I only had enough to buy 1 for me
Right.
that my sister gave me.
right.
So I told her, I was like, oh no, like I only have the $5. Like I can't like buy you any. And I thought we was good. I thought we was going to leave it at that.
Right.
When I tell you later on that day, I got this dictionary of a text message.
Not the dictionary.
Dictionary of a text message
Why do people do that?
with a picture of a $5 bill to just seal the deal so that I knew.
Where did she get a picture of a $5 bill? She didn't have $5.
Right. You was asking
Did
me
she
for
Google it?
$5. But now you sending me a picture of a $5 bill, so you just had forgot yours at home. Like you didn't come prepared that day. I don't know. And it was just this big dictionary of a paragraph saying how rude I was. All I do is take from the friendship and just all this stuff. Now, mind you, let me just backtrack into this friendship. We used to go out to our local skating rink a lot. My dad used to not only drop us off and take us. It was very rare that her parents contributed to the transportation of us going places. Like we always, like every time we always hung out, it was always my parents doing stuff for us. So I'm like, I've done all this stuff in this friendship, but because I didn't want to give you a $5 bill, all of a sudden our friendship is over.
That you didn't have.
That you-
That's the key part.
That I didn't have to give you. That I didn't have to give you.
And that is what you call toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah, those. I've had a couple of those run across my life where they be. First of all, when you run into a friend that keeps score, that's a red flag.
But let me tell you, ever since that, because of how she just felt like it was just so one-sided, that has always been burned into my brain. So I feel like now I overcompensate so that I don't come off as that because of the fact that she saw me that way.
Yeah.
So now when I meet new people or when I get into friendships, I try to overcompensate because I don't want anyone else to feel like that with me.
Well, I just think that the biggest thing that you have to know is if you're being true to yourself and you know that you're being good to a person, you don't have to overcompensate, and you do what you feel, right? I mean, different relationships and friendships require different things.
Right.
And you just sometimes and I'm going to say God brings people like that into your life as a blessing because they show you what not to be friends with. Because I swear I had a friend like that back in the day, and it was like, it's so toxic, and it just really plays with your brain because it makes you start thinking, well, is that person right? Am I rude? Am I not, is giving or whatever? But at the end of the day, when you meet other friends who are gracious and who have friend-like qualities, then no, That was her. That wasn't
Right.
me. It had nothing to do with me. So that's a crazy story.
Yeah, and I got so many. With the skating rink, my dad had to pick us up early, and she was talking to this guy, and because my dad had showed up, we had to go. She changed my name in her phone to Sabotager.
Yeah,
Only
she
answered the
just-
phone
you
as
know what?
Sabotager. It was crazy.
But people who are like that, you will find that they don't hold on to friends. Like she
Right.
probably had a lot of people around her. Because I know there's people who are like that, have a lot of people around them, but they don't last because they sabotage. Like how it was like she was projected, right?
I completely forgot about that because I remember you telling me that story about the sabotager.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, see, people like that, those are toxic people, and you gotta watch. You really gotta watch out. Like as much as we have in this episode called "Are You Rude," I can't wait till we get the episode of "Are You Toxic?" because there's a lot of toxic people out there that play mind games, that manipulative stuff. That who got time for that? Who got time for that? Is it my turn?
It sure is.
Your turn.
Is it?
Hey,
Tara's
Mom,
turn?
are you rude?
Yeah, sometimes. And let me tell y'all how I'm rude, because I just want to be real clear. How am I rude? Like, I'm not rude where I won't say please and thank you. I'm not rude like that. Well, I'm trying to think. Wait a minute. I might be. I think if you are like an everyday fixture in my life, I might take you for
because
granted.
sometimes you begin
Whoa,
to
why
say
do y'all be
please
coming
and
in
thank you.
so tired? Stop
To the
coming-
point your best friend had to step in one time and say, dang, why don't you say please or thank you to when you go ask Chelsea to do things? Come on now.
She has no bearing in my house. She doesn't get to say what we do.
Wow, really? She gonna be listening to that and probably gonna call you immediately after she hear
Hi,
that part.
bestie. No, but I think my rude is unintentional. I'm sure it is. But sometimes I just have a way of getting with the people, right? I have a way of being like, I can snatch you up real quick, right? And without thinking about it. Like people think that it would I think people think that it would take a long time for something like that to happen.
I don't.
Or
Not for
or
you.
me to think of it, but I just always have stuff at the top of my brain that I can hit you with. And I think in that way I can say, I don't even know if it's rude, but it'd be quick stuff.
Can I jump in just a tiny bit? So I don't think that you're rude intentionally, like you said. And I don't think that you're rude at all, but I do think that you give out the energy that you receive. So I don't think that you're rude to people who
Yes,
are
this is true.
polite. I think you are, and I'm using air quotes here, rude to people that have done something to deserve the rudeness.
Yeah, if you give
back.
me rude, if you give me disrespect, you're gonna get rude from. I just don't have a problem with giving it to somebody, and I hate talking about myself like that because then people gonna meet me and they're gonna be like, "Oh, you think you're tough?" And I don't. I'm not tough. I don't know. I just have a quick tongue. I think always have had it. So my thing, what I don't like, because where I'm sometimes can be rude, I try to self-check and I try to right the rude wrong and sometimes try to go back, but sometimes it doesn't happen. But the biggest thing for me is, and I just hope, my hope is that this episode just really goes out into the world and people just hear it. Because the thing that gets me is just when you're out in public. Like, the manners of public right now, I need everybody to go back to the basics. I need you, if you need to get past me at the grocery store, say excuse me.
Yep, and good morning. We had also talked about that, saying good morning when you go to work.
If you come into the office or the building or the whatever, it is not okay to not say good morning. You don't even gotta like me. Good morning does not mean you like me. That just means you gave me a salutation and you acknowledge my presence. I just don't get it. In all my years of working, I've been working a long time. I noticed over these last couple of years, I've worked in places where people think it's okay to come in, go to their desk, they'll walk right past you, and they won't say good morning or just hi or any. Oh, that's crazy to me.
Well,
Is that rude?
Yes,
That's rude.
it is rude.
Yeah,
And
because you didn't
Especially
acknowledge
if you
me.
make eye contact with me.
Oh my
Right, yes.
God. This is true. This is true. So get y'all good mornings on. Get y'all excuse me's on. Get y'all thank yous on.
Or, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And you know what? This just recently happened with me and your dad. So I can't even remember what he did. I ain't going to put him out there like that, even if I did remember. But he did something. And I was like, you just did whatever. And then he was like, my bad. And I said, are you trying to apologize to me? Because my bad is not an apology. What is your bad? And he was like, well, my bad. I said, when did my bad even come to be? Was that like, don't my bad me. Say, I really want you to say, I apologize for, so you will know. Because sometimes
Because in that way, you're taking accountability.
Right. Because when people just say sorry, you be like, what you sorry for?
Right. What are you sorry for?
Like, I'm sorry for blah, blah, blah. I apologize for blah, blah, blah. But when you just are like, my bad, that's not accountability. What's your bad?
Right.
And what's bad? Like,
Right.
and he does it quite a bit. And I told him, I said, now I know your mother didn't allow you to say, my bad. I know she taught you to say sorry. So you better relearn yourself and get back to I'm sorry. Yeah, but these streets are really wild right now with the manners. Nobody has manners, and I want them to get their manners back. We got to get the manners back on track because it's getting wild in these streets. It's getting really, really wild. So, do you guys have any other?
Don't send your friends pictures of $5 bills.
And don't change their name
To sabotage her when they did nothing wrong.
I can't believe she did that.
So crazy.
The part about
And
that.
she showed it to you?
Yes.
She
used to
told me-
call her that.
She used to call
in
I
public,
used to call her
in front of people. Like,
I used to call her and she'd be like, "What's up, sabotager?" Like for it went on for like 2 months. Like I thought it was ha ha he like, oh okay, like maybe like a 2-day 3-day thing.
Right.
It went on for like 2 months.
And whatever
months.
happened? Whatever happened? How did that friendship turn out?
We got social media. We follow each other on social media, but that's about it.
Right.
Like we
You
don't.
eventually stopped.
Yeah,
being, like, close
I had
friends.
to cut that cord.
You have to. Those kind of people, you have to, because they will suck you to the bone
Yeah.
dry. Like
And
they're vampires.
and
That's a
she
vampire
did.
friend
Yeah.
that sucks all your energy out. Like I want supportive, like good friends in my life that if I tell them, I want a friend that if I tell them, you know what, girl, I'm about to go to the moon. They'd be like, dang, for real? Okay, I see you. It's not all the people. It's not a lot of people out there that are like that, right? Because some people you tell you going to the moon, what you going there for? What you about to do when you get there? They don't even know how you get there.
But you
Who
know
you
what?
gonna go with?
I can gladly say my best friend like that, right? That I have right now is like that.
And that's what I was saying earlier.
I can tell her, "Hey, I'm about to go rob a bank. You either you
not
with
the
me
bank.
or you not."
Every week
And
you
she-
keep on talking about crazy, like
I'm just
felony
giving
stuff.
examples.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I would
You
go
was
rob a
giving
bank.
felony, like killer vibes last episode. And I need you to settle
not
down.
necessarily killers, stalker.
No, she was saying she was gonna come with the. Listen, I don't know, but anyway.
But she was like, "Okay, all right. Well, listen, we gonna figure it out." Like
And that's what I'm saying. So a lot of times this goes with boyfriends, girlfriends. This goes with any kind of relationship. Sometimes you got to have that old crazy, just rude, just toxic person roll up and just to show you what you don't want in your life, what you don't want. Ariel, what you got? You good? You got any last words for the people?
Just be a little bit more self-aware and don't do things that will prevent you from being self-aware.
Like
That's it.
drinking and drugging.
Right. Like, there's moderation, people. Just moderation. Just
Some
keep
people
your
don't
way.
know about
some
that
people.
moderation.
So the place we were at on the day that this event took place, it was open bar from 8 to 10. So it was free vodka and free tequila drinks and shots.
And
so
that's an alcoholic's
and I'm telling you,
dream.
The group that this guy, who he wasn't really a part of, but he kind of clung to, they kept coming in and out of the crowd for drinks. It was like as soon as their drinks were done, they went right back, and it was just they was 3-4 drinks in the hand each time.
Right.
So they definitely took advantage of that open bar and free tequila and free vodka. Let me tell you.
So crazy. That is so crazy. So my wrap up today is going to be simple. I'm not going to preach to y'all today. I'm just going to give you a simple one. I think I'm just going to reiterate. I think if you start caring about other people and what they care about, then that'll make you not be rude to other people. That'll make you hold the door for the person behind you.
Hold the elevator.
Hold the elevator and move your buggy over to the side. At Walmart, they have their lanes are so tight right now. And so if you don't if you stop your buggy in the middle of the aisle, I can't get through. And then when I'm coming through, you don't feel me, you don't see me, but you just leave it. It's just those kind of things. I know those are petty things, but they matter, because when I am out, I try to give you the best of me. So I just encourage people, when they're out, give everybody the best of you. How about that? Let's try that. Let's start a movement. The best of me. Let's get some t-shirts. Let's give everybody the best that you got. And that's our episode today. So you know what you got to do. Hop on over to our Instagram, Turin Company. Follow us, and tell all your friends about this podcast. Spread the word. We are here to stay. We are going to be giving you guys the best episodes we can give you. And we just want to make sure that you guys know that you're welcome in this space. And we just want y'all to come along for the ride. We're going to say goodbye to you this episode, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We look forward to you joining us on the next episode. Until then, be inspired and enlightened.